guys, we have some things to do today. The first thing we got to do is I am several days late on harvesting raspberries, and these are like the final raspberries that I think we're going to be getting from our bushes. So we're going to take up the raspberries, and then we're going to go into the root cellar in there and clean out all the potatoes from last season. And then we're going to go into the greenhouse and harvest the last of the tomatoes and the last of the grapes and the cucumbers. And then we're going to take up all of the tomato plants and cucumber plants and sort of clean up in there. Then we're going to come here and we're going to take up the last of the beets, and we're going to take up all but 2 rows of these carrots, and we're going to process those. The winter carrots, which are there, those can stay in the ground until first frost. And then if we have any time, we're going to start taking up these potatoes. So that's what we got going on today, and I'm going to try to take you guys along with me for a little bit of that. So here we go. Okay, so hear me out on this, you guys, but I just had the wildest idea. These sprouted like half a year ago, but I did a little Googling because I had the wildest thought. I'm going to plant a winter garden this year. I actually already have started, and we're going to come in here and clean out the greenhouse in just a minute. But I have, oh my God, I started this just a couple days ago, and look at the radishes are already sprouting. Holy moly. I planted radishes here. I planted peas here. I mean, this is all just experimenting. I thought to myself, what if I clean up the cucumbers here and just try to plant some of these seed potatoes and just see what happens? So I think I'm going to do that. So we're going to do that later. But first, we're going to go harvest raspberries. Welcome to my laundry room. It's October 14th today, and I turned 41 years old 2 days ago, which, you know, when I turned 40, that's when I went in for that ultrasound, which confirmed that my baby no longer had a heartbeat. So 40 started off as a tragedy, but through the course of the year resulted in just a tremendous amount of growth and hope and new life and promise and gratitude. So it's, I guess on a brighter note, it's really beautiful to start 41 on that note, you know, of new life and hope and promise. And hopefully this will be the year I get a job, because that's still a major struggle for me. Yeah, it's going to happen, but it's just taking some time. Anyway, I thought I would pop on and do a little mid-month update because I've been doing a lot of things this month, and namely it's macro tracking. I have finally found a way to track macros in my bulk that is going to allow me to establish how much I'm actually eating right now, how that's affecting my weight, and then using those numbers, I can kind of backtrack a little and extrapolate what my current maintenance calories are. And it's so important for me to know what that number is because I don't want to waste the whole first month of my diet in January guessing and doing trial and error and trying to figure out what is an appropriate calorie deficit. In terms of lifting, I continue to just kill it at the gym. I am routinely adding weight on to all of my lifts, and it's been this way for many weeks now, like something like the past 4 to 6 weeks. I am like loading weight onto my lifts and increasing reps, and I don't know, like my range of motion is getting better, my tempo is getting better, my control, my mind-muscle connection is getting better. So I have to really hope that I'm making some good final changes in this grand finale of the build. And I still have 2 whole months going, God willing. I stay healthy. Hey guys, it is October 27th, and I have been so sick. My whole family has been so sick. We're starting the 4th week for my middle kid, and like the 2nd or 3rd week for my bookend kids being sick. And this is I think I'm like 1.5 weeks into it. My husband's been sick for almost 4 weeks. It has been a month this month. And I don't know what we have. I'm actually taking you guys with me. I'm going to go buy a COVID test. I have to drive like 45 minutes into town to get to a pharmacy so that I can buy one. And then I'm going to try to pick up a few quick things that we need. Ibuprofen, stuff like that. And we're going to test and see if it's COVID. Listen, there's 3 things going around in our area right now that that could lead to such a severe illness like what we've had. And it's either influenza, COVID, or Mycoplasma, which I think is the same in English, Mycoplasma. I've never heard of it before. This is the first time I've ever heard of it, but yeah, I don't know. So we originally thought it was influenza, but this definitely feels much more like COVID. I have this on again, off again, constant roaming fever, really, really high fever that gets really bad in the evenings and at nights, night sweats, fever dreams, this, that, and whatever. The only thing that makes me think it's not COVID is that I haven't gotten the rash. Every time I've gotten COVID, I've gotten a rash on my knuckles and on my elbows and knees, and I don't have any rash. So my husband thinks we have Mycoplasma, and he said that it can take up to 6 weeks to go away. And like we're on week 4 with my middle kid, and he's only just now starting to feel better. He still has the cough, but he's only just now starting to feel better. And I'm like in despair about the fact that I could be feeling this way for up to 6 weeks. Because we're just raw dogging it right now. Oh. I'm a little concerned I might have pneumonia because of the way it's very difficult for me to breathe. I feel like an elephant is sitting on my chest every time I lay down. I start spastically coughing. By the way, pelvic floor. Who has a pelvic floor? I don't have a pelvic floor anymore. I'm wearing maternity pads, okay? Because I can't cough and not fully piss myself. So that's a great time. And also, my coughing spasms get so bad that I start vomiting. So I am like vomit, coughing, and pissing myself at the same time. So that's like, I love that for me.
A few moments later.
So check this out. I got a test that tests for both COVID and influenza. This is going to require quite a bit of editing, but we can open this and we'll read the directions and then we'll test it in the car. Let's see here.
One eternity later.
This is what it looks like. Can you see? Is it focusing? So. Remove the lid, idiot. Okay, it's running through on the COVID side, and it's running through now on the flu side. Now we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes while this is on a flat surface. All right, my good people, timer is done. You know, I want this to be positive for something, so I have an answer. I sense that it's going to be negative for both things because I don't feel like what we have is flu, and I don't think this is COVID because I don't have that rash. So, yeah, it's negative. Negative for everything. Not even the hint of a line for anything. Anyway, that's that. So that was all exciting and fun. Fingers crossed that in the next couple days when I come back to do like my weigh-in and check-in and everything like that, I'll have some sort of improvement. Hey guys, it is October 31st. It's October month end. We're going to do measurements right now, and then I'm going to come on and give you guys a story time update on my health, and then we will end this video. So here we go. Hips, I'm getting 98 centimeters or 38.5 inches. Waist, I'm getting 79 centimeters or 31 inches. Under bust is showing 81 centimeters or 32 inches. Glutes, I got 106 centimeters, which is 41 3/4 inches. Thigh, 59.5 centimeters, which is 23.5 inches. Right bicep, 29.5 centimeters flexed, which is about 11.5 inches. Left bicep flexed, 30.5 centimeters, 12 inches. I will pop up on the screen next to me my measurement comparisons to month end last month. So right now, these are my actual month end measurements, and then in the parentheses, it's plus or minus the difference comparing this month with last month. And I'm going to assume that everything is negative because I'll just put up here at the same time. I weighed in this morning at 70.85 kilo, and I don't remember where I ended last month at. This is the number, is what I ended last month at. But when I weighed myself just before I got sick, on October 16th, I was up to 73.7 kilo, I believe. And now I'm down to 70.85, which is about the loss of 3 kilos since the middle of the month. And I was actually down significantly more, but the past 3 days, the past 3 days, I've been able to eat and like drink properly again. So my weight is now up a little from the lowest, and I also have not been taking creatine in 2 entire weeks. So I have lost water size in all my muscles, and I have not worked out in 2 whole weeks. So I've lost my pump and a lot of the inflammation that comes with weightlifting. So I say all of that to say, I don't know how quickly I'm going to recover all of this, all of the size I've lost,
but I suspect it's going to happen pretty quickly once I get back into it. The question is, when am I going to get back into it? The next question is, what the heck happened to me? And the short and sweet answer to that is, I have pneumonia. I had fever, super high fever, 39.5, 39.6, 39.7 Celsius for 12 days straight. Yesterday was day 13, and I woke up with a mild fever, but it went away after I just took a couple Tylenol, and I, for the first time in 13 days, did not get a fever in the evening yesterday. And I woke up this morning, day 14, with no fever. So, hallelujah, praise the gods, because I was not making it. And on day 11, I went to the urgent care. That was on a Sunday. They diagnosed me with pneumonia, and everyone told me that it was Mycoplasma and that it was going around like crazy, and I had all the symptoms. And so they prescribed me an antibiotic, but they prescribed me a penicillin, which apparently Mycoplasma does not respond to. But by Tuesday, I was deteriorating still so rapidly that I basically couldn't open my eyes. I just was gone. I was so gone. I was so tired. I hadn't eaten in days and days and days. All I could do was sleep and cough. The fever was just sapping me of my life force. So we went to the hospital, and so I don't know if you can see in any of my pictures. I have these sticker things because they thought maybe I had a pulmonary embolism. Apparently you can mistake pneumonia for a pulmonary embolism. I don't know. But they checked me for that. They did an EKG and stuff. They took my bloods again. They checked my vitals. They did x-rays. They saw the pneumonia, but they said it's not severe, and that my body actually was showing that it was somewhat, my bloods were somewhat improving. But they switched my antibiotic. So they put me on doxycycline, I don't know. And within 12 hours, I was feeling like a new woman. And now it's been more than 12 hours. Now it's been like 36 hours, I think. I have not had a fever in 24 hours. I'm still very, very tired. So I say all of that to just explain my measurements. My progress pictures look super deflated. I look super deflated. And we're going to go on a mini recovery journey because I don't see myself returning back to the gym for another 2 weeks. It's the simplest of things, get me out of breath. And so the name of the game right now is that from now until Sunday, I just rest. And then starting Sunday, I'm going to start my gym routine back up. And by that, I mean I'm going to maybe get on the treadmill and walk for 20 minutes, just try to get my cardiovascular, respiratory, oxygenation system sort of back on track. Lord knows I don't need to do core work because I've been hacking out my internal organs nonstop for the past 14 days. But stretching, mobility, maybe some body weight exercises just to get my joints moving again. I can't tell you guys the pain I've been in, especially in the first week of my virus. The myalgias I had everywhere. I'm very locked in my body right now. I've just been in a lot of pain, and so I'm gonna do just a lot of mobility work and slowly get my body primed and prepped, and then hopefully mid next month I can get back in the gym. So this will have taken me out a good 6 weeks. Once I think I'll be back into lifting my normal amount of weights. So instead of ending my bulk on December 31st, I'm pushing it forward and I'm going to end it on February 4th, which is when I actually took my first set of day 0 pictures for the beginning of this bulk. So when I said I was going to end on December 31st, that would have actually been only 11 months, not a full year. It would have technically kind of been like a full calendar year, but not a full 12 months, you know? So now we are just going to do a full 12 months and call this a mini cut that I've done. I know I've lost muscle mass, but I also know I've lost some body fat. So if we can be really good about macro tracking and get my appetite back online and lift with intensity and progressive overload, this could all work out for my benefit because I will have lost some body fat. And I know with muscle memory, I'm going to regain that strength and muscle mass surely between mid-November and the beginning of February. So I'm not sweating it. I'm seeing this as a net win. I was due for a deload anyway. I'm really only was taken out a couple weeks through the worst of it. So I gotta go because my baby's crying. But you will have seen all my progress pictures and measurements and everything. That's the story for this month. We're putting this one behind us. We're gonna move forward. So guys, if you get Mycoplasma pneumonia, don't take penicillin because it's worthless. Just make sure you get diagnosed right and prescribed correctly. So that's my lesson for you guys. I'll catch you next month.